Yeah, she's definitely pregnant. Oh my god. Hi, this is Cass from Mozzie Cass Plays, and welcome back to the noble generation of my medieval legacy challenge. I don't know why there's bubbles coming out of the bath, you guys. I don't know what's happening. It's fine. I just loaded up the save. I've just patched my game. What could possibly go wrong? It is the boys' birthday, both of them. So we are going to age them both up. It's also likely to be the old fella's death days. I say that with the most respect and love. Thank you, Lucas, for all you've done for our boy. Thank you, Boston, for your long-suffering assistance with everything. So I've been trying to give them a good day. Boston's currently not doing chores. He's actually dancing. And I've got Lucas getting himself a snack. Just giving them a good day, you know, because they both, I think, have the bubbles. Lucas definitely has the bubbles, and so does Boston. So sometime today they're going to pass away. I'm hoping we can age up the boys first. As far as my list of things to do before aging the boys up, the top of my list was Edward's traits. See, we didn't get to, that didn't happen. Let's just take a moment to respect Lucas. God, the game did not mess around. I hit play basically when I started recording. That's how long it took. So dying on the bathroom floor, I mean, worse places, I guess. It's a bit sad for poor Boston, because he's the one that has to see his lover die and then process that. Look, it is very sad, Boston. We could say Boston died of a broken heart. Not that he's died yet, but you know, it's coming. So, oh my god. Wow. Rip, I guess. Sorry, I know I still sound a bit croaky post-disease. Grim's shown up. He's doing a 2-for-1 kind of situation. So I expect he'll be sad because it was his uncle. I will put our little grave, like we've got the family grave. I'm going to put these two in the family grave here on this estate rather than the kind of descendants of Olivia family grave. Because obviously Lucas and Boston, they're related to Gabriel, but they're not related to Olivia except via Gabriel. It's extended family stuff. Gabriel's come home just in time to be sad. Come in here and mourn Lucas. That does mean Gabriel is now Lord Gabriel. I'm not going to change Aimee's title. She was already Princess Aimee. I'm not downgrading her to be Lady Aimee because she's the princess and, you know, we don't downgrade these things. Oh, Felix has been abandoned in the high chair. He's like, here I am, I guess. I don't know if we have a cake. Oh, he's really tired and hungry. Could you actually just feed him? That music was very jaunty given we just had 2 deaths. The last meal Boston ever made was fruit salad. Thanks, bud. He was a good butler. She's like, no, you told me to give him a nap. We're giving him a nap. This is very precious. He's such a cutie. What I was going to say before I was very, very rudely interrupted. I did get level 5s and everything for Edward. So he should get top-notch toddler as a trait. I'll double check because we did have a glitch for a while there where it wasn't actually applying that trait. It seems to be fixed now. I'm guessing it was a mod conflict issue. It may have been in the game. I genuinely don't know. Her cooking's level 5, so we're not completely kind of adrift. I'm going to cook a matcha tea cake because it's the first cake I saw in the list. Oh my god, the house is so quiet. I actually kind of like it. I mean, we've still got the butler. She's got very specific instructions not to interfere with the children, but she's still tried it. Since I set that setting not to tend to minors, she still does it. I just want to get Felix enough sleep so that when I age him up, he's not wild. Now, as far as he's going, he's level 9. Oh, I think he got his investor level... Like, I think he got that promotion after I finished recording. He just needs to get logic to level 10. For the challenge, we also need to max out charisma. It's not for the career, it's actually for his challenge. Like, for the bonus, we need to have art skill and charisma maxed out. He's currently halfway through level 8. Oh, he's going to go eat with his toddler. Sometimes I found it creepy the way Sims do this. Sometimes it's kind of cute. I like the idea that he's, like... feeling sad because his uncle passed away. I'll go spend some time with my sleeping toddler because, you know, he warms my heart and makes me feel better about the world. And then he cries quietly to himself. I'm sorry, Gabriel. You've had a rough day. All right, it's taken some doing because I don't know what was going on with Edward, but that's fine. So we're going to... Oh, Mira's spirit's fading away. Bye, Mira. Happy birthday, little Edward. Ooh, That was dramatic and instantaneous. I thought there'd be more of an animation. All right, Gabriel, can I get you to... I almost called him Lucas. I did rename him, by the way. He's now Lord Gabriel. You gonna age up, buddy? There we go. Good work. For the next generation, the money-making mechanic is actually effectively via cheats. For each friend or enemy you have, you get an allowance. Tax day is every Sunday. Every Sunday, total up the number of friends and enemies, multiply that by 1,000. I don't remember how much the bills are on the palace, but I'm expecting in the 5-ish thousand range. But it does mean we want him to be social. Outgoing is probably the most likely, but he was a charmer, so outgoing does tie in quite nicely to that as well. So he gains powerful moodlets from friendly socializations. This doesn't actually help him make friends, but I think it reflects the fact he needs to be social, if that makes sense. Outgoing is actually a bit of a rubbish trait. I'm probably not going to go for any of these multi-skill aspirations just because they're very focused on modern gameplay. So I'm probably just going to go for this one. It'd be good if we can get it. Goodness me, Edward. Look how cute he is. Did I give him freckles? I don't think I had given him freckles yet. I feel like he probably should have freckles. Also, I like to imagine this as Judith in her younger days, especially because Lucas had a haircut very much like that, and maybe Lucas modelled his haircut off his dad. Colin. I think he was Colin Ward. I know you're really tired, Gabriel, but I would like you to stay here until your son comes. No. Here's what you're going to do. You're going to entertain us all with your singing. Exactly. Excuse me, Edward. There are candles on that cake, my dude. How did you even do that? Look at his face. Look at Felix's face. He's like, you stole my cake? Big brother, how could you? He stole some of my cake, mama. Saliva everywhere. Yuck. I mean, he was calm is the thing. So if we wanted to roll with calm, we should really actually go angelic. That's kind of the calm for toddlers. We could go with that. And then we'll say the intolerances start to appear as a child. Look at his little face. And he's like listening to his dad sing and going, ugh. Singing level 3. Good work, Gabriel. All right, what I'm going to do real quick, I'm going to give both the boys a makeover. So I'll get back to you guys shortly, imminently for you. In a while for me. All right, so here is little Edward, and I didn't realize how big his eyes were when I was first looking at him, and when I got into Cass, I was just like, whoa. Perhaps more towards the cute end of the scale than the rugged end at the moment is the vibe I'm getting, but we will see, obviously. I did give him some little tiny freckles. I also gave the same freckles to his little brother, although Felix hasn't really been outside, so not super realistic. I gave him some likes and dislikes. I do this with all of my Sims. They all dislike photography in video games because I'm trying to punish them for using their phones. This is his winter wear. So we've started at the end, but I'll just quickly run through his outfits for you guys. I mean, there's a lot of suits and shirts and that kind of thing you would expect. Just because, you know, he's going to be the king one day and has to dress in uncomfortable clothes as a result. Poor kid. This one's a bit more casual, I figured, for hot weather, but I think it's winter. It is winter. So I don't actually know how much we're ever going to see his hot weather because he might be a teen by then. We'll have a look at little Felix. Again, adorable little bean. He's got more curly hair, a bit more like his Uncle Bartholomew. I gave him the tiny freckles, but they're only very faint. So I think he's gorgeous. And he's got the same big eyes, I think. So again, we'll run through his outfits. For whatever reason, I leant towards green with Felix. I don't know why. I feel like, did I lean towards, was Bartholomew green? Do I do this? Do I just make my second children wear green? I feel like Gabriel was the one I put in green. I tend to go off the eye colours. Oh no, Felix is a messy eater. I mean, it does tie into the whole him having issues with food thing, I guess. I just sent him in here to have a little bit of birthday cake because he was hungry, and I was like, well, his brother already ate it. So he's a little extra messy around food time. They basically leave crap all over the floor when they eat. A butler's gonna love that. Can I get you to bring him in here? Now, what I've done is I am actually ultimately going to move Edward in here, but not just yet. So I've moved Mira's old bed into here, and I've given this a bit more of a child theme to it. And I've moved Felix into what was Mira's bedroom and made that the new toddler room because this is a nursery. And in my mind, that's going to stay a nursery, a permanent nursery, up until the point when we run out of rooms, which may or may not happen. So we're going to put him to bed. Gabriel does have work in the morning, but I'm thinking about having him take a day off. In fact, I'm going to do it now. It'd be a very respectful thing to do, to have a little bit of a mourning period. Do you know what I mean? The lord of the estate has just passed, and it would be, I feel like it would be inappropriate almost. Once you've done that, you actually need some fun. So I'm going to get you guys to woohoo. So this little dude is in his new bedroom. It's probably very overwhelming for him if you think about it. Oh, he hates bedtime. He really hates going to bed and will wake up shortly after falling asleep. Look, that's nice, but go back to bed, buddy. But he loves wake up time. I mean, those two go hand in hand. So I guess we know all of his quirks already. He's a messy eater and we have sleep issues. Great. Do you guys woohoo? They did. Oh, it just started snowing. To mourn Lucas and Boston. By the way, I have put their graves out. So this is obviously Colin and Judith. And then we have Lucas, who also gets the giant headstone because he was the Lord. And I've kind of put Boston off to the side because even though we know there were a couple, society wouldn't accept that. So I've put him to the side with a loyal manservant epitaph. I have no idea what I'm going to do with the cattle. I can see that cowshed needs cleaning from here. It's actually going to be a problem. I'll see how much I can get Edward to help with. Gabriel's going to be busy with work and he's got skills he still needs to work on. And Aimee is going to be busy with the plants and the house. The butler will help with most of the plants, but not the cottage living plants. So the sun has come up. It is a beautiful wintry day. Poor Edward is getting a little bit of experience in the humbling that all good kings should have under their belt of having to do very boring chores and stuff. So I've just queued for him to clean the coop and the shed and milk cows. Maybe we'll collect the eggs as well. So that at least is taken care of. I've got Aimee coming up to potty train Felix. The other thing that has happened is they've gotten a letter saying that the king is in the neighborhood and wants to come past. Now, the king obviously is Aimee's brother. So they're expecting the king imminently, which does mean we need to put some clothes on. No, I hate how it does this. Every time you start potty training a toddler, it asks if you want to be strict. I'm going to say no. We're not going to be strict on poor little Felix for no reason. Let's pop him on the potty. And then Aimee, I actually want you to leave him there because this is a trick I learned during the 100 baby challenge. He's good now. She doesn't need to be there. Come and welcome the king. I want to... How do I do this? How would just stayovers work? Oh, I got a mod. Let's see if it works. Relax. Yes. I think this was Twisted Maxi. It has a new mod where you can just type and it searches the wheel for you. So I'm going to get her to tell him to relax because that's not why he's here. So she's come down. She's like, Your Majesty, welcome. And he's like, Aimee, call me Gregory. She's like, okay, but only, obviously this isn't only when he's not at court kind of thing. So she's asking about the progress of the war and he's offering his condolences about the passing of Lord Lucas. Probably he's like, well, I need to talk to you and your husband. I want to talk to Lord Gabriel about the Ward Estate's ongoing support for the war, because I imagine the bills we're paying are probably a direct tie to the king to support the war. Making sure that all of that is fine and everything. And she's like, that's fine. Would you like to join me for a meal? Because she's really hungry. So, oh, Aimee, are you pregnant, sweetie? I think she might be pregnant based on that single interaction. I mean, excellent. All right. No worries. It's fine. Get up. Chumcha. It's time for Chumcha. Are you cleaning up? I told you to relax, my dude. Franklin's going for a promotion. Oh, he got promoted to Noble Sergeant. Maybe that's why the king's in the area. He's he's knighting the guy. They're having a very, serious conversation about the war. Edward's listening with wide eyes to this very grown-up conversation. Yeah, she's definitely pregnant. Oh my God. So baby name suggestions, guys. I guess that's the thing we need. I think it was that woohoo last night because I don't think she was pregnant when I started recording. So he's talking about the freezing temperatures, the effect of that on the war. The other thing that he wants to talk to them about, other than generally securing the family's support, which obviously they're like, of course, Aimee, her mother was killed. It happened in front of Gabriel. Gabriel could have been killed. The vampires attacked this house. So of course they're supporting the war against the vampires. I don't think that's in question at all. But the other thing that the king is telling them, and we'll wait for the butler to leave because this is family business, is he's planning on naming Edward as his heir. Because the kingdom is at war, he doesn't want there to be any doubts about succession or anything like that. What is unspoken in this room is that they all know Emily is still alive. They all know Emily has a child. They don't want there to be any question about who would inherit the Kingdom of Windenburg if Emily were to reappear with Benedict and be like, my son is the rightful king. And because we're at war, there's a chance the king could die, like a reasonably high chance the vampires could assassinate him. He could be leading troops in like a charge, also not that he'd be leading, but he could be the general in a charge against a den of vampires and they could get him, you know what I mean? So the chances of him dying in a war are much higher than normal, and in medieval times they're pretty high already because you could get a tooth infection because you didn't have proper dental care and die, and that would be the end of you. He's going to issue an edict, I guess, naming Edward as the heir, basically until the point where he changes it. So he's like, you know, obviously should I marry and have children, then that would change, but I want it to be known widely that Edward is the heir. This will make Edward a prince, so he will be given the title of prince, but I'm going to leave him, obviously I'm not moving him out of this house, we're not done with this gen. What this means from a gameplay point of view is that when Gabriel's finished, like when we finished his gen, we could move Edward straight away, like what we did with Gabriel, where we moved Gabriel into this household when he was a teen. I could do the same thing with Edward. I don't know if I will. Let me know what you guys think of that. King Gregory is unflirty. That is the reason he's not married. I think he'd probably be, in modern times, he would consider himself ace. He just doesn't want to. And he's got other things on his mind, to be fair. She would know, Benedict notwithstanding, that her son is next in line. So it's not a surprise. What is a surprise is the fact that the king's kind of making it official. So I'm going to get these two to go out here. He's like, what chores do you, what do you do to help your parents out around the estate? And he's like, well, now that my uncle's passed and his butler has passed, I've taken responsibility for looking after the farm animals. He probably wouldn't say I clean the sheds, but like, I'm responsible for making sure that they're well looked after. Not directly. I've got staff. He's managing staff. He actually would, if you think about it, he wouldn't be cleaning them himself. He would be potentially managing the farm hands and stuff. His dad might tentatively give him responsibility for that. So me saying clean the shed would actually be him telling someone to clean the shed, but obviously I can't have a house with 50 Sims in it to run the entire estate. So we just have to stretch our imaginations, I guess, a little bit. No flirting over here, you two. You caused enough mischief as it is. Has she gotten a moodlet for it yet? She doesn't. She's probably suspicious that she might be pregnant, but I don't know that she knows for sure yet. She's probably a bit apprehensive, given what happened with Felix being premature and everything. Does she want to go through all of that again? Excuse me? Excuse me? Look, the house is a bit of a mess, but you're a barefoot peasant lady. Also, the reason I didn't move Edward into this room was actually because I had planned the king's stay over. Yeah, very, very pregnant. I'm going to leave this part here, you guys. I'd love to hear baby name suggestions. That being said, you guys left me a ton of awesome baby names last time. I think all of the baby names that I have left are female is the only thing. So particularly boy suggestions, just in case she's pregnant with a boy or boys. If it's more than one, I'll cry. So I'm glad I left the nursery untouched, I guess is the upshot of all of this. She might have some difficult pregnancies, but Aimee is not having any fertility issues. And I haven't clicked try for baby since she got pregnant with Felix. So, woo! If you've enjoyed, please like and subscribe. You know the drill. Don't forget to wash your hands. And I will catch you next time. Thanks for watching.